Hey boys, it's good to see you again. Wish I could see you. I hope you guys had a nice day. I haven't talked to Mommy yet this evening, but I'm hopeful you guys were able to do some fun things. Before we get to Genesis 32, I didn't really catch anything today, Pokemon wise. But Jackson, I thought I would do this guy for you. Here's our friend Slugma, and here we go. Forget the name of what he turns into, but we'll find out in a second here. There he is. Power Snail. 1239, not bad. Whoa. He's got overheat at 160. He is a power snail. Magcargo. Do this for you, Jackson, since you like these guys. Alright. Well, we finally got through Genesis 31. That was a long chapter. Now we're in Genesis 32, which is another long chapter, so I'm going to try to get through a lot of stuff tonight. It's a pretty easy to follow story, so let's jump into it. Jacob went on his way, and God's angels met him. When he saw them, Jacob said, "This is God's camp." So he called that place Mahanaim. Okay, remember that Jacob just left Laban and they had the big confrontation, but ultimately Laban let Jacob go and didn't attack him because God was protecting Jacob, right? Now here comes the big challenge, the next one. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. He commanded them, "You are to say to my lord Esau, this is what your servant Jacob says. I have been staying with Laban and have been delayed until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male and female slaves. I have sent this message to inform my lord in order to seek your favor." Jackson, Daniel, why does Jacob need to seek Esau's favor? Yeah, that's right. He has not been very kind to his brother. All right. When the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, "We went to your brother Esau. He is coming to meet you, and he has 400 men with him." Now, I'd like you guys to just think about that. If you had somebody you hadn't treated very well, and you heard that they were coming your way and they were bringing 400 other men, would you be happy about that? Or maybe a little nervous about that? What do you think, Jackson? I think I'd be nervous about that. It says, verse 7, Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed. He divided the people with him into two camps, along with the flocks, cattle, and camels. He thought, if Esau comes to one camp and attacks it, the remaining camp can escape. Then Jacob said, and this is important because I think this really is the first time we've seen Jacob do this, okay? Then Jacob said, "God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, the Lord who said to me, 'Go back to your land and to your family, and I will cause you to prosper.' I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant. Indeed, I crossed over this Jordan with my staff, and now I have become two camps. Please rescue me from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid of him. Otherwise he may come and attack me, the mothers and their children. You have said, 'I will cause you to prosper, and I will make your offspring like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted.'" So, before when Jacob got into problems, or when Jacob wanted something, or when something needed to happen, what did Jacob rely on to fix the situation? Daniel, what do you think? Jacob relied on his own smarts, and he relied on his being deceitful and trying to trick people into getting what he wanted, or trick people to get away, like he tried to get away from Laban by sneaking out in the middle of the night, right? So this is the first time where we see Jacob stop and say, wait a minute. this is a really bad situation. Esau is coming with 400 men. There's no way I can stop him. But, just like he says in his prayer, he's thinking to himself, God told me to come here, and God promised me that he would make my family prosper and grow. So finally, Jacob is stopping, and he's not going to try to solve the problem himself. Well, he kind of is, but we'll see that. But he's first going to turn to God and say, God, you asked me to come. I'm trying to obey you. Please help me. And this is really the important moment here at the end where he says, verse 11, please rescue me from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid of him. He just was speaking honestly to God, telling God what he was feeling, and he trusted that God had the power to help him, and that God would help him. And that's really a big part of what prayer is. When we talk to God, we're just honest with God about what's going on in our lives, and we commit to obey God, and we ask God to do his will and to help us. So, now here's the next step Jacob took. Jacob spent the night there and took part of what he had brought with him as a gift for his brother Esau. 200 female goats, 20 male goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 milk camels with their young, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, 10 male donkeys. He entrusted all this to his slaves as separate herds and said to them, go on ahead of me and leave some distance between me and the herds. He told the first one, when my brother Esau meets you and asks, who do you belong to? Where are you going? And whose animals are these ahead of you? Then tell him, they belong to your servant Jacob. They are a gift sent to my lord Esau. And look, he is behind us. Jacob also told the second servant, the third, and everyone who was walking behind the animals, say the same thing to Esau when you find him. You are to say, look, your servant Jacob is right behind us. For he thought, I want to appease Esau with a gift that is going ahead of me. After that I can face him. And here's important. After that I can face him, and perhaps he will forgive me. Okay? So the gift was sent on ahead of him while he remained in the camp that night. During the night, Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female slaves, and his 11 sons, and crossed the ford of Jabbok. He took them and sent them across the stream, along with all his possessions. Okay, so we'll stop there. But again, so Jacob, he does gather a bunch of animals and flocks and send them ahead as a gift to Esau, but he calls it a gift, and he says in his heart, maybe Esau will receive these and he'll forgive me. So Jacob is finally being honest about the fact that he treated Esau badly, and that he did things that were wrong, and he needed forgiveness. Right? So, we'll stop there. This is an important moment for Jacob because he's finally starting to obey God. He's finally he's stopping trying to make everything happen on his own and think up all the solutions and come up with clever schemes, right? He's starting to trust, and he's starting to be honest with himself about times when he has made mistakes. So those are important things. For you boys, this is your last full day in Savu Savu. Tomorrow you have some fun. I'm sure we're going to be on the ferry, so I want you guys to know, thinking about you. I'm praying for you boys, I'm praying for mommy, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Love you guys.